Today is Wednesday, August 11th, 2022, and we're doing a tour of the proa for Taumako Lata. It's obvious that what we've got here is a too big a boat inside a too small a boat shop. Okay, here's our bow. This thing right here is a 2-inch piece of pipe with a huge amount of fiberglass inside. The whole idea of that is you run 1.5 inch rope through it and yank the boat off the beach with a tugboat or something like that. Because these puny little deck cleats up there, you try and put that kind of stress on them, they just go pating, okay? Now, here's the Manu. I think we have a separate video on this channel talking about the Manu, so I won't talk about that. Here's our chalk and anchor. The anchor line comes over this, stops right here. There's another one on the other side, that's for anchoring. The cat is for boat shop mice and rats. Okay? Right here, this is the top mast stay, tang, or chain plate. Over on this side, right behind the wire, we've got the roller furling jib chain plate. The roller furling jib goes 2/3 of the way up the mast. Okay, walking on down through here. Those are the reinforcing plates, that right there, that the Taumako will bolt through. There's a big member inside the bulkhead here, the sandwich bulkhead that goes up and down, and they screw into that and then bolt through it. More from up top. This is the leeward buoyancy pod right here. It's somewhat streamlined so when it hits the water it doesn't just go whack, which it would if it had a flat face like this, okay? And you'll see the leeward buoyancy pod in some of our other videos in action, in pocket rocket videos, and oh my gosh, there's an AMA there. Well, this is a pretty crowded boat shop, isn't it? Okay? No, we do not use the weed whackers on building the boat, but we do use the chainsaws down there on building the boat because we cut our own lumber and sawmill it and plane it. Okay, this is the AMA. Here's where the Taumako connect, right here. This is solid, goes all the way down to the bottom. Deck cleat, inspection hole, going back, deck cleat, inspection hole. The AMA has 4 separate watertight compartments, plus this is the fishing cockpit with, let's get this out of the way. It's got 2 water tanks under the floor. The one on the left here is a freshwater water tank, and those are the little fittings for it. Fill fitting, suction fitting, and vent fitting. And this one over here is a saltwater water ballast tank. Those are the little drain holes. The whole idea is the fishermen can sit in this and catch fish and be protected. Have something to grab onto with their legs. Okay, over here, what the heck? We have a winch. What do we need a winch for out on the AMA? I'm going to go around and explain that in just a second. Going around the other end of the AMA is 24 feet long. The AMA is exactly the same size as Coconut. Now, because this boat is going to get out into some serious wind and waves, we have drogue tangs bolted onto the hull. That's 4 3/8-inch bolts. It's really solid stainless steel welded fitting that you can attach a snatch block to and then a drogue bridle to go out to your drogue. What's this over here? Well, this is the way we arrange the dagger board, and over on the main hull, okay, the rudders. It's got a line to pull it down. This one doesn't have it rigged, but there's a breakaway that goes up to an eye right there. Okay. Working on the boom. Here's the other end of the boat. Here is a rudder, set of rudder fittings. We will do a separate video on the rudder. Here's the same end of the boat. Dang, this boat looks the same on both ends. It looks almost exactly the same. Except for this thing. What's this? This is a propeller shaft going up through and into a U-joint up inside the boat. Okay, and we have a separate video on that too. So up the ladder, up the ladder, up the ladder. What do we got up here? We're up on top of this boat now. There's the foredeck. Okay, right there, this winch is the pull down winch for the rudder that sockets it firmly into its wooden gudgeon. There's a handrail here because hanging onto the foredeck, what you can do is you can jam your toe under that and hold on with your feet, leaving both of your hands free. See that? Even easier if you're barefoot. Okay, deck cleats. Another winch. That's the pull down winch for the propeller shaft. This thing here, wet hatch. A wet hatch, sorry about that on the camera there. A wet hatch is a hatch that has drains out the side, okay? You can throw anchor line, dripping muddy anchors, anything you want to in here, and then bucket a bucket of water onto it, and it doesn't get all over your deck or in your crew compartments. Here's our crew hatch. Crew hatch opens up. This is a single bunk space, a very generous single bunk space down here. The feet go up there with storage underneath. There's a storage compartment and a storage compartment for a crew bunk space. Up here, sorry about all the jiggly, cabin top. Okay, handholds, one main sheet winch, clam cleat for the sheet off that main sheet winch. Over here, on this little winch pedestal shelf here, we have Genoa sheet winch. Genoa sheet winch lead. The block will be here, the sheet will go to this, whip around that, and it will come down here and go into this clam cleat right there. Winch handle holder is right there. This is the staysail sheet winch. Staysail sheet winch lead is right here, a block goes there, line comes to this, around it, and to the clam cleat right here. There are backup cleats for each one of those winches for hauling in anchor lines or kedge lines, dock lines, things like that, so you don't have a dock line in a clam cleat, which is designed to release quickly, not to hold in a guaranteed fashion. Roller furling fair lead right here with a cam cleat on this side of it, okay? This is a 1/2 inch eye for the crewmen to attach the man overboard safety line to snap into this thing. There's one on either end of the boat. Okay, moving on into the cockpit. Cockpit seat big enough for 3 really fat people or 4 medium skinny people. Ventilation. Over here, there's our engine starting panel and our switch panel with circuit breakers, lights. And this cabinet is for radios, charging gear, maps and charts, and things we want to keep dry. Down here, this is one of the 2 cargo compartments. This thing is from the lip of the hatch down to the bottom there. It is 5 feet 4 inches deep. A lot of room down there. Engine controls, engine room. We'll cover that next. Right next to the cargo hatch is a fish hatch, same depth. Only this compartment has 4 inches of styrofoam insulation. It's actually EPS, the pink insulation, and heavy fiberglass on the inside. So you can drop a 200-pound tuna down there and it won't make a dent in that bottom and let water in. This is going to be refrigerated, RSW, refrigerated seawater, off the main engine, which I'll show you in a second. But this is where the Taumakoans are going to earn their money. They're going to put fish in here, get them cold, and take them 2 days away where they're worth a lot of money. Engine room. There's the engine room light. Okay, engine room, 14 horsepower, 2-cylinder Yanmar diesel, running through a U-joint. It's got 2 batteries, 2 banks of batteries on it. It has an exhaust valve shut-off, so you can turn the seawater into the engine off absolutely for passages, and you won't end up with any water splash back up through your exhaust riser, freezing your engine when you just need it the most. There's a bunch of solar battery stuff on the wall back there, shut-off switch with an alternator balancer. That thing takes both batteries and it sends the charging current from the alternator to the one that needs it. Over here, 30-gallon new aluminum fuel tank. That's an aluminum day tank, a 1-gallon day tank. The way that works is the day tank fills up and then it gravity flows to the engine. So if anything happens to the fuel pump on the engine, you can always simply keep filling the day tank from a gallon jerry jug and keep running the engine. Okay, over here, that black and orange thing is the refrigeration compressor. It's going to run off of that 2-shift pulley there on the front of the engine. And there's more stuff going in here today for the refrigeration. This right here is our big seawater strainer. Over here, fresh water. This pump right here on the floor sucks fresh water from the freshwater tank in the AMA and delivers it out this faucet right here. So there's a 30-gallon freshwater tank in the AMA with a foot pump and a faucet right here. Let's see what else. 4 separate compartments in the buoyancy pod. Not going to want to store a lot of heavy stuff out here because it's on the wrong side of the boat. This side of the boat over here is the side we want to keep light. The is over on this side with its water ballast in it, and that's what keeps us down. Because of the possibility of overloading, we built these hatches really small. You can see them. A person can barely get through them, but you cannot put a 90-pound sack of copra in one. And you certainly can't put 20 90-pound sacks of copra in one. What else have we got here? Seating for passengers. This pipe thing, and we're going to put a tarp over it, and that will provide shade and rain protection for a number of the passengers. Yet still allow you to walk through underneath while crouching to get from one end of the cockpit to the other. And you know those songs that say second verse just like the first? This boat is the other end just like the first. So, aloha from Hawaii. Thank you for listening. Call or write with any questions if you're interested in proas.